All right, our last speaker. You Sorry, this is some facts. I know, it's blew my mind today. He's a lover of socks. He started speaking English in 1986. He founded Apple Computers alongside Steve Wozniak, so that's Carlos right there. So let's welcome Carlos.
That was fun. First, thanks to the first two speakers. Have done an amazing job. This is my prop for a little bit. And I need a clicker. Yeah, this is a horrible story of production. I hope that I can bring it to life in the way that it happened. Because I've tried to block it out of my brain for a long time. Is anyone familiar with the process of filmmaking, commercial making here? Okay, so you know the whole thing of how to, writing a script, getting a director, the whole bit. So this was 2005, and I just want to set the mood. Like, this is like at the beginning of anyone trying to do anything culturally relevant. Like, I don't even know if that was a thing back then. So this was the first ever, I think it was the first ever commercial for Ben & Jerry's. And if anyone knows anything about Ben & Jerry's, they're a very politically charged company. It started with two guys that were so in touch with their own liberal ways of thinking. They moved to Vermont. And this was at the time when they had just gotten bought out by Unilever. So they're like, they're an amazing, wonderful corporation that makes a lot of products. And there was a lot of angst in the company in terms of, Unilever wanted them to talk about the fresh strawberries in their ice cream, how good the milk is, quality product story. And if anyone's in marketing in here, like that's from a P&G kind of point of view, they just love talking about this stuff. And the Ben & Jerry's people were like, no, we are not going to do that. Like, they had a lady, I forgot what her job was, but she was like in charge of like social consciousness. And every time we presented a script that had to do with like the freshest strawberries, the great vanilla, she's like, no, we're not doing that. We got to talk about something else. And so I'm going to play you the spot that we made, and then I'll talk to you about the horrific production process that we went through. And I'm Carlos. I'm the global CC of Cassette. I forgot about that part. That's my Twitter handle, I think. That's not working.
I'm Mike Eastman, and my wife Barbara and I have a dairy farm here in Addison, Vermont, and we milk about 50 cows, have about 300 acres. We definitely have a relationship with the cows in our farm. They have names. Most people don't pasture cows anymore. The cows stay in the barn all the time. It concerns me that we have been losing family farms, and I think the government has just allowed the big corporations to get even bigger and to have even more control. I worry that people don't know where their food comes from. I think once you lose a farm, it's always hard to get it back. Farming's the only thing I can do. It's the only thing I like to do. So if I lost it all, what else am I going to do,
Funny, right? Not funny at all. Yeah, so obviously this guy's a real farmer. At that time, I think he had a farm of 30 cows, 35 cows maybe. Like, he was totally, I think he went to Harvard. Like, he was totally genuine, soul to the earth, the kind of people that I don't interact with on a daily basis in any way. And I don't know if any of you do. But we had been working with this guy, Douglas Holt, who wrote this book. And if any of you really want to start thinking about creativity and advertising completely different, like, you got to read this book. It's a hard read, but it's definitely worth the time. But anyways, at that time we were like really thinking about, okay, we got to think about this differently. We cannot talk about the strawberries. Doug was busting my balls about like, don't do the strawberries, but they want the strawberries. And we ended up with this spot, which I think it's good. I think it's an interesting take. And again, think about it. It's 2005. Like, that is so long ago. Like, no one was doing work like this at that time. So we start the production process. We sell the script. Peter gets, we get a director in charge of this, and I'm protecting everyone's name in this presentation except Peter is my partner. Like, I will never tell you who directed this. You can Google it after if you want. But, so, you know, we get into the process, we pick this guy, we find the farmer, and it's gonna be great. Peter goes to Vermont first. It was my daughter's birthday that weekend, so I couldn't fly right away. And, you know, I'm having a birthday party, and he calls me in the middle of this, and he goes, Carlos, we just finished the pre-pro. We got a bit of an issue. I go, what is it? The farmer just saw the script. He doesn't want to read it. He doesn't want to do this. I go, what are you talking about? Like, this is what we do. He goes, yeah, I know. You know what? The director really wanted to hold the script back to the last minute, so it came across really genuine. So right the day before the script, the day before the shoot, we showed him. He was like, nah, I'm not doing any of this. Because it's not that I don't believe in the message. It's like I don't want to really judge any of the other farmers that I interact with on a daily basis in any way. He had so much, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he was just such a nice guy. He didn't want to, if you were into corporate farming, he didn't want to judge you in any way. He goes, this is the way I do things. I'm not going to partake in this situation. He goes, but don't worry, the director's got a plan. I go, great. I get on a plane, I shoot out to Vermont, and we start shooting, and the stuff he's saying, he just wanted to do an interview kind of approach. All the stuff the guy's saying is amazing. It's like, wow, he said that, that's so great, and it just sounds so genuine. And we had about 10 clients, 4 of them were for Unilever, I think. And they're like, no, guys, that's great, but that's not the script you sold us. I go, okay, cool, just give us time, you know, just getting warmed up. We keep on shooting. The director keeps on coming back with the DP. He's like, guys, check this out. It's like amazing. It's just a wonderful, salt-to-the-earth stuff that keeps coming back. He goes, dude, you got to get the script. Like, the clients are busting our balls. You got to get the script. He goes, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm on it. He's not doing the script. He keep on asking us, no, I'm not doing it. I will not judge anybody. Then the director has an idea. He goes, guys, why don't we write a script based on the words he's saying? I go, yes, that's amazing. Fuck, I love this idea so much. So Peter and I jump into the van. We start writing the script based on the playback. And we come back and we go to the director. And I actually need a person. Pretend you're me. Come out. And you go, here's the script. He grabs it from me like that. Go sit down. So there's a little bit of anger in the room already in the shoot. And as he goes, oh, what happened? What was that all about? That was his idea. It's like, oh, okay, fuck, whatever, let it go. Keep on going, hey, is he gonna do the script? And at this point, I'm gonna go to my next slide. I hate slides, by the way. He comes up to the video village. So there's like 12 people sitting there. And he goes, guys, I fucking hate all of you. All of you are fucking dicks. You're all terrible people. You're treating this guy like he's a dog, like he's a robot. He's not a fucking dog. You're all dicks. And then he looks at my partner, Pete. He allowed me to say his name. And he goes saying, you are the king of all dicks. Right? Then he grabs the fucking water bottle and throws it at Pete. And Pete's like ready to fight. The client gets out of the seat. And he's like, and then he grabs the script and goes, and this. And he's like, he just kind of throws it like that. It's like just horrible. That whole thing's pathetic. The client is a black belt. He had to be held back. The producer jumps in. They tackle him to the ground. The director to the ground. They had to be dragged him away. And I'm sitting there. This is the piece of paper. I hate slides. And everyone is there's this awful tense moment of like, what the hell did just happen here? The product is so nice. You know, like it's such a sweet spot. And this was me at that moment. Like, the account person is in total denial that this is going on. Yeah, this was not a good thing. But I think the pressure of working with someone that was trying to be so genuine with a very politically charged message was just becoming too much for him to handle. And we didn't have that relationship with the director in terms of being able to handle something like this. So the next is like a little bit of a couple of things I learned along the way. You know, always get talent to agree to the script. Even if it's real people, real honest client trying to do something that's genuine, you have to get that. Like it's, you know, now I know better. We should have written a thesis for something like this. This did not need a script. They didn't even think about it. Never crossed our minds in any way. I think we probably would have ended up with a better product if we have treated an idea like this as a thesis and trying to prove something that really mattered. Work closely with the director to make sure the approach works for everyone, including the talent. And I think, you know, that, yeah, obviously when you're doing something scripted, that always works. But in something like this that was just so politically charged, at that time, we really needed to do that, and we didn't do the diligence, you know, like you were saying, like sweating the little stuff that sometimes you do have to do. And production is an organic process. I think you have to have a relationship with not just the director, your clients, and everyone else in terms of being on the same page and understanding that things are going to evolve as you're going through something like this, to make sure that no one's calling you a king dick or throwing a water bottle at you in any way during the shoot. That's it. Thank you.
Questions for Carlos?
Questions, constructive criticism? Yes.
You didn't say what happened to the client. Was the client happy with the product?
Oh, the client was really happy with the product, but it was, I got to tell you, that moment really put a sour taste on everybody's mouth. Like, the president of our company at that time really had to do a lot of, what do you call it? Damage control. Like, yeah, even this happened during the end of the first day of the shoot, so we still had another whole day to go with this guy. Yeah, like it was just not a, when someone's getting wrestled to the ground because they want to beat you up, it's not a good scene. But yeah, no, they were happy with the product at that time.
So was day two really, really awkward, or did you have some sort of a conversation with the director?
No, we never talked to him again. And it's funny, like he's really good. He's a really good director. The DP that we had is a Canadian guy who never works here anymore. Seuss. Yeah, Chris is amazing. Like he's just unreal. But yeah, like you know, I would love to work with Chris again. But this guy, I don't know if we could ever work with him again.
With so much focus on authentic storytelling these days, whether it's advertising or
Yeah.
otherwise, do you have any tips for how to do it well?
Yeah, I think you have to be really honest in what you're saying, you know, and I think the hard part for creative people is that, you know, not that we're looking to make things up, but it's just how do you make something that's so genuine and honest and true, interesting. And I deal with clients, you know, that they are interested in creating these stories, but sometimes I don't feel like the stories or the tension is there enough. So you have to make sure that there is enough tension and a little bit of crazy in the story you want to tell to make sure that people pay attention, because no one cares about anything. You know, so how do we make people care about genuine people's stories? Like even like I don't think this would track today. You know, like it's sweet, it's nice, it's a nice stat, but I don't think it would track. Like we would have to find a different way of telling the story of family farming going away. That's based on his words, yeah. Yeah, no, we never got the script. No chance. Say it again? Interesting. I don't know if people had goals back then. No, I think, you know what, I think at that time it was just really, you know, the coverage that we got was all based on getting people to notice Ben & Jerry's a little bit different. Like I said, even though they had just been bought out by Unilever, I don't think they were really, you know, sales are important, but it wasn't a thing that, you know, all of a sudden you see a case study video with KPIs and sales went up and we got likes. That didn't exist. You know, it was just really like brand sentiment and how do you build on that?
Hey, I wonder whether part of the fuck-up was from not like consulting the farmers before writing the script.
Not consulting the farmer, not having a great relationship with the director.
So what did you kind of learn from, like, how did your learnings from this fuck up, like, inform your process moving forward?
I think it's getting buy-in, buy-in from all the key stakeholders in terms of what you're trying to make. In this case, we kind of really didn't think about the farmers. Like, oh, yeah, let's hold the script back. That's a great idea. Let's make it as genuine as we can. Even though we were not saying anything wrong, he just was not willing to play ball. And I think in the days that we're right now, that where we're trying to get people to be more genuine and authentic and telling these stories, you have to get people to buy in, Yes.
Was the farmer happy with it?
I haven't talked to him. No, I don't think he almost, I think at one point, I don't know if I'm making this up, I think he was willing not to come back to the shoot for a little bit because we kept on being pressured to do the script a little bit too much. And he was like tending cows at the same time and trying to be truthful. I'm not joking. Like, he was just trying to do his own life. We were just trying to find the moment to catch him. Peter and I left the agency. Yeah. I think they did. I think they were working with either Goodby or Wyden in London, and they ended up doing a whole bunch of fresh strawberry stuff. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Nice job.